Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it's Paydirt battle time again. And this time we're going to be visiting two Arizona sellers, LynchMining and Vendetta Prospecting. And we're going to be going through Vendetta Prospecting's 1.5 gram Lynx Creek bag versus LynchMining's 1.5 gram Diablo's Pit bag. So I'm going to be pretty interested to find out which one of these comes out ahead. But before we get any further, I need to thank today's sponsor, and that's all of my Patreon members, including my newest one, Brian Smith. So Brian Smith, thank you very much for joining my Patreon page and supporting this channel. And if anyone else is interested, you can check me out at patreon.com/Miller Prospecting. And now let's flash up the descriptions for both of these bags, go to the overhead, and get into them. As you saw, both sellers have really good descriptions. They both tell you where the material comes from, how much material you should be getting, and what the general makeup of the material is, as well as how much gold is in each bag. So let's weigh these up, see if they are as stated. This is supposed to be 1.1 pounds. 1 pound 11 ounces, so definitely over the 1 pound, 0.1. And this one is supposed to be 2 pounds. And there you go, 2 pounds, 11 ounces. Let's open them up, check them out. And the Diablo's Pit.
Very difficult.
And I will rinse out both bags before the end of the video. As you can see, the LynchMining is definitely a lot darker material. Don't know how much. It says it's only about 5% black sands, but we'll have to see in the end. Well, this one does state it might have some organics in it, and I do see some. Let's check them both for magnetite. Decent little bit in there. Now let's check out the Diablo's Pit. Again, decent bit, pretty equal it seems. Now I am not going to classify these on camera, too much material to go through, as well as there's going to be a lot of panning in this video. So give me a second, we'll be right back with some classified material. Okay, all done classifying, and let's start with the LynchMining. As you can see, very little in the plus 10. The other three classifications are pretty equal, with more being in the minus 20 plus 40. And now for the Vendetta, pretty equal amounts in all of them, but more in the minus 20 plus 40 as well. So it'll be interesting to see how both of these Paydirts pan out on where the gold is based on how much Paydirt there is in each classification. But the only way to find that out is to pan it out. So let's go get some water and start panning all this material out. So I have my water, have my pan, and we're going to start with the LynchMining Diablo bag, and then we're going to cut to the Vendetta bag. So here's all the LynchMining right here, and let's get started with the plus 10 and listen to some music. Well, finished panning everything out, as you saw, and the Vendetta Prospecting Paydirt was a little bit more difficult than the LynchMining, but we'll get into that in a minute. For right now, let's show you the gold I found from both of them. In the plus 10, LynchMining on the left, Vendetta Prospecting on the right, and yes, there is two little pickers from Vendetta. When I was panning it out, I only showed one because I saw the other one go off the side of the pan and I didn't feel like stopping. But nice little haul. Always good to find some plus 10 gold. In the minus 10, plus 20, even more gold. Again, LynchMining on the left, Vendetta on the right. And as you can see, pretty equal amounts. I will say the gold from Vendetta is much darker than the LynchMining gold. In the minus 20, plus 40, even more gold. Again, about the same amount in both of them. LynchMining over here on the left and Vendetta over on the right. And lastly, in the minus 40, even more gold, but only from Vendetta Prospecting. LynchMining, not even one little piece in the minus 40, which was kind of disappointing. So let's weigh up the LynchMining, see what we get. Plus 10, 0.380, minus 10 plus 20, 0.485, and lastly, minus 20 plus 40, 0.655. Let's weigh it all up. Again, I am guaranteed 1.5 grams in both these bags. And there you go, 1.53 grams. And now let's weigh up the Vendetta. Plus 10, 0.44, minus 10 plus 20, 0.380, minus 20 plus 40, 0.585, and lastly, the minus 40. Should budge the scale. 0.130. Let's see the grand total. $1.525. Now let's talk about how difficult both of these bags were to pan out, and we're going to start with the LynchMining. Now the LynchMining is pretty easy stuff to go through. The only thing that's difficult about it is that LynchMining gold tends to want to float. It is very thin, flat gold, and it doesn't want to sink, and then when it comes out, it does tend to want to float. Even if you were watching the video, the minus 10 plus 20 gold was floating in the pan. So for a beginner panner, I'm going to give it a medium, but for an advanced or expert panner, it would be easy, and if you just use some jet dry, even a beginner, it should be easy. And now for the Vendetta, this was a lot more difficult. Not only did it have organics, it clouded up the waters, it had more black sand, and it had fine gold in it. So because of that, for a beginner, I would give it a hard, but it is very low on the scale. For an advanced panner, it'd be medium, and again, very low on the scale. But for an advanced panner, it'll be pretty easy. And now let's get to the ROIs, the reviews, and see who won this battle. All right, finished calculating my ROIs, writing up my reviews, and let's see who won this battle. First, we're going to start with the LynchMining. It was their Diablo bag. It was guaranteed 1.5 grams of gold. Its cost was $107.10. Shipping was $9.80 for a total cost right here of $116.90. Gold recovered, again, right here, 1.53 grams of gold. And that gold was 18 to 22 carats. I did test it. Now, gold spot on the day that this bag was received was $57.48, making this gold worth $87.94. And I do calculate my spot based off of 24 karat price, even though this might be a little bit under. When you sell placer gold, you can get 24 karat gold prices. So with that being said, I got an ROI of 75.24%, or on my scale, a 7.5. So pretty good. I'm not going to ever complain about a 75% ROI. And now for Vendetta Prospecting. This was their 2-pound Lynx Creek bag with a guaranteed 1.5 grams of gold. Its cost was $100. Shipping was free, so total cost right here, $100. Now, I did just notice that they went up on their price to $103.50, but I paid $100 for this one. Gold recovered, right here, 1.525 grams of gold, which also tested at 18 to 22 carats as well. Gold spot on the day that this bag was received was $57.71, making this gold worth $88.01, which gave me an ROI of 88.01% compared to LynchMining's 75.24%. The win is definitely going to Vendetta for the ROI. Now, for fun factor, I'm going to give LynchMining a 7. I'm actually dropping it down from the ROI of 7.5 because there was nothing really in the minus 40, and you really want to find some, especially in their description, they do say you can find fines. And I didn't, so it was a little bit disappointing. While for the Vendetta Prospecting bag, I'm actually going to bump them up to a 9 because there was gold in every classification. It was a little bit challenging, but not overly challenging that you wouldn't want to pan it all out. So bump them up a little bit to a 9, which gives them the win for fun factor as well. Now for Paydirt description, both of these companies have really good descriptions. I'm going to give LynchMining an 8 and Vendetta a 10, just because Vendetta has a little bit more information that will help a buyer out. So Vendetta takes a score on this one as well. Now for quantity and packaging, they both got the exact same score of a 9. They both got a 10 for quantity because they were over the stated weights, and an 8 for packaging because they both come in coffee bags. So a 9 for both of them, which gives them a tie. Now for customer service and shipping, they both got a 10. The customer service for both of them was excellent, and the shipping was incredibly fast for both of them because it was during the Labor Day weekend. However, I am going to give the win a little bit to Vendetta because while both of these were placed on the exact same day, were before the Labor Day weekend, Vendetta shipped out one day earlier. So I'm giving them a win for that. So total scores, LynchMining 8.3, Vendetta 9.4, and the win for the battle. Now, I will say both had great scores, and I would be happy to get either one of these bags. If you want something a little bit easier, obviously you'd go for the LynchMining. If you want something with a little bit higher ROI, I would go for the Vendetta, but you're going to have to work to get all that gold to get that higher ROI. So that's going to be it. All that's left is to give away a 24 karat gold-plated dime, this right here, and that's going to go to Sienna Cyclops. So Sienna Cyclops, make sure you email me so I can send this gold-plated dime off to you. And to everyone else, thanks for watching. Happy panning. And if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button below.